just came
and was surprised by it.
We were like, what?
Yeah. What did you think of it?
Honestly, the best thing I've ever experienced.
It was so like energetic and just hilarious.
Fuck off. It's not a lace front and you can suck my drag queen dick.
No, it's not. It's not a lace front.
It's not. And she doesn't care.
Yeah, I don't feel separate from society because I'm a drag queen. Drag is my way of separating myself from society on my own terms. Before I started doing drag, I avoided things that I thought might be too gay. And now that I do drag, I understand that it's the effeminacy is just another part of who I am. So I say it all the time, pretending to be somebody else helped me accept myself. When I first started doing drag as a freshman and sophomore, there were not many queens. It was probably the same 5 or 6 people who were performing at every single one of the shows. Everything I had was borrowed, so I was wearing a borrowed wig and a borrowed dress with borrowed makeup and borrowed heels. So nothing fit properly, nothing, like, it was very, like, kind of hodgepodge, like, first-time drag queen kind of thing. My legs felt like Jell-O, and stilettos don't help. For me, the hardest thing about drag is deciding how you want to present yourself, what kind of aesthetic you want to give to an audience, and then mastering that aesthetic.
First time I did a show was Halloween 2016, so very recently.
And that was here in State College?
Yeah, it was State College at Chronic Town. I looked a mess, but I thought I looked really good. And I did a religiously activated song or intro to This Is the New Shit by Marilyn Manson. It's like a religious rap that went into This Is the New Shit by Marilyn Manson. I just really wanted to be funny, and I think it was funny, and a little fucked up. That's kind of my style. It's like clever, but like fucked up.
I don't really have more fun when I'm gay agenda, but I do have more fun when I'm around drag queens, because drag is a culture that I really appreciate and really study, and being around other drag queens who understand what I'm talking about and understand all the references that I'm pulling from, that is fun for me, being able to connect to somebody based on a common interest, because there's not a lot of heterosexual people that like drag. So when I'm around other gay people or around other drag queens, it's fun that I get to have conversations with them that I don't really get to have with straight people.
Mm-hmm. We're all one big family, and we're not going to leave anyone behind, no matter what. It's really nice seeing a whole community that, like, you wouldn't know is so present in State College come together for once a month, and all of us are having a good time and interacting and performing and putting on a show and just, enjoying each other's company. Even though sometimes they are a little last minute, you give a drag queen 10 minutes and she'll be ready. She'll turn the party.
And I think that as literally just State College drag has gotten better, the queens have gotten more supportive of each other. Because drag is a form of counterculture, you're allowed to be vulgar and offensive. And that's something that a lot of comedians can't do. Especially by the virtue of being in a college town, people get offended a lot more easily at certain things.
I feel very incriminated by listening to that last number. I feel like I should be smoking a Newport and have darker foundation.
But because drag is a form of counterculture, and it kind of gets that slide on being unapologetic, it helps. You know, you can really say or do anything.
Thank you. Who said that? Was it you, bitch? It was you? Who are you? What's your name?
Has your character Absinthe changed at all since you started doing it?
Yeah. When I was like first starting doing drag, like I just wanted to be like pretty. I wanted to be a pretty girl, you know? But I've sort of realized my character and what I do is, you know, I was really into like emo rock music when I was in middle school, but I was never allowed to like dress emo because my parents would like ground me. So like Absinthe is like my way of being like the punk little rebellious asshole I could never be, you know?
There doesn't need to be a gender binary on which everything exists. You know, to be a performer, I don't need to be a heterosexual man who dresses like a man or a heterosexual woman who dresses like a woman. I can be anything and still be entertaining and be fierce.
Yeah. No.
In the hub, that one got so many people. Like, so many people. I wish I was in it. I was in the crowd, like up front, like cheering on everyone, like handing out money. I like went broke that night. I had to like dip into the savings.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm still getting better at hosting. I don't think that everything I do is phenomenal. I still have, in my opinion, there are always something to work on. I still have awkward moments. Sometimes I might want to crack a joke that only fits in a certain segment of the show.
That's awfully quick. That's super sober. Did it taste like Naomi Smalls' dick?
And I walk off stage and I'm like, oh, I forgot to even say that. So I'm always kind of working on it. I don't think that I'm the greatest host, but the number one thing is I want to have a good time, because if I'm having a good time, then everybody else is. The Valentine's show.
Oh, that was awesome.
It was.
Boots the house down, work for your nerve, Osama bin Laden,
Yes, Gaga on
Elizabeth,
season
Judy,
9.
Mary, and Jesus Christ, amen.
Killed it. I have never seen a crowd. There was stunts, there were jokes, there was phenomenal. There was gagatry,
shenanigans,
conflama, rigomoris.
Yes. A classic case of HCS. Hooligans causing shenanigans on that stage. On that night.
What are you fucking awesome!
Drag isn't something that can just be limited by gender. If you're willing to do it, it's drag. Because you, like, in every day, you can't just walk around and be a drag queen. So, I mean, there are people that do, and kudos to them, but for drag queens like myself, it's getting that time of day, time of night when you can like dress up and show your art, show your performance, and let people see something that you can't just show them in day to day. I mean, I have fun both ways. Like, Colin's a fun person. Absinthe is fun as fuck too, if you're willing to be seen in public with her. She is kind of a mess, but...
A big misconception people have about drag queens is that they're trans and they just haven't come out yet. I'm not trans, and I only know one queen who is trans. For me, it's just the opportunity to dress up and act like a fool. You know, I don't want to be a girl. I'm a guy. And if you want to be a girl, that's awesome, and you can still be a drag queen. But that's what a lot of people think about drag queens, is that they just haven't come out as trans yet, or like that's what they're leading up to. And for me, that's not what it is.
Not every drag queen wants to be a woman. I'd say like no drag queens want to be women, but actually I wouldn't say that at all. There are drag queens that have transitioned to be women, and that's totally okay, but just because I'm dressing up as a female does not mean that I want to be female. I'm just expressing some kind of art, feminine side inside of me. Not everyone gets it, not everyone has to get it. That's like part of it, trying to explain it just by doing it. Yeah.
How do you explain it to
So my parents were always really accepting of me being gay, but the kind of place that I'm from, it was always kind of like you can't do things that are too gay, and drag is too gay. It's unapologetically gay. So being able to kind of step into that world of being unapologetically gay for even just 2 hours is like it's really liberating, and that's why I think a lot of people do drag. Yes, I've had family members that weren't happy when they found out that I do drag. We've kind of come to an agree to disagree kind of thing.
Is it good that you guys don't talk about it?
I personally don't care. I mean, my family is like very much like macho, like fixing cars and like that kind of stuff, and like I don't relate to that and they don't relate to makeup, so it's kind of just like we'll talk about other stuff. I remember it was probably like right after Halloween, maybe when I was like 16, when my mom found out I was like playing with makeup. She was like pissed just because I was like stealing some of her makeup, and like still today she's still like annoyed by it, but like personally I don't care because I mean I'm my own person. But I remember my mom was pissed, but my friends have always been like here for it, and my dad like don't even talk about it. I've been a drawer and painter since I was like really little. I love drawing. Pen and ink's my favorite. And then as I got into college, obviously I went into art school, so I have that as like my thing. And then I was always drawing this character, especially in high school, and then I just started like turning myself into the character I was drawing.
And for me, drag kind of was like, well, why is that a bad thing? That's just who you are. So, you know, it's kind of, drag helps a lot of people come into their own and just say, take me or leave me, because this is who I am.
Like, equal. And like, if everyone's happy doing what they're doing and showing off what they love, then why be so hateful? Why be so against it, you know? It's such a happy thing, it's a thing that makes so many people happy. Why be so negative about it? Why be so against it? If you're not into it, then just don't be into it. Just be happy that somebody else is happy about it.
What we're filming?
I'm straight.
I'm dead.